Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. If you enjoy discovering rare coins, valuable stamps, and hidden treasures that could be worth surprising amounts of money, then you're definitely in the right place. Today, we're taking a close look at this fascinating United States 1-cent Benjamin Franklin stamp. At first glance, it may appear to be just an ordinary old stamp, but appearances can be deceiving. Some rare examples of Benjamin Franklin stamps have become highly sought-after collectibles and have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, before you throw away an old stamp collection or ignore the dusty album stored in your home, make sure you watch this entire video because you may be holding a hidden treasure. The stamp featured here portrays Benjamin Franklin, one of the most important figures in American history. Franklin was not only a founding father of the United States, but he was also the nation's very first postmaster general. Because of his tremendous contributions to the development of the American Postal Service, his portrait has appeared on numerous United States stamps throughout history. The 1-cent Franklin stamp remains one of the most recognizable and widely collected stamps among philatelists around the world. Millions of these stamps were produced and used for everyday mail during their time. However, not every stamp is identical. Serious collectors carefully study every small detail because certain varieties are significantly rarer than others. Factors such as the stamp's condition, centering, perforations, color shade, watermark, and printing characteristics all play a major role in determining value. Condition is one of the most important aspects when evaluating a stamp. A stamp with bright original color, sharp perforations, perfect centering, and no tears, stains, or creases will always attract more attention from collectors. Even a common stamp can become considerably more valuable if it has been preserved in exceptional condition for many years. Collectors also search for unusual printing errors and rare varieties. Mistakes made during the printing process, such as missing colors, double impressions, misplaced designs, or uncommon perforation types, can dramatically increase a stamp's value. These errors are often rare because only a limited number escaped into circulation before the mistakes were discovered and corrected. While many ordinary 1-cent Benjamin Franklin stamps may only be worth a few cents or a few dollars, rare examples in outstanding condition can sell for hundreds of dollars. Certain scarce varieties and authenticated error stamps have achieved prices reaching into the thousands of dollars at major stamp auctions. This is why experts always recommend having potentially valuable stamps professionally evaluated before selling them. If you have inherited an old stamp collection from parents, grandparents, or other family members, take the time to examine it carefully. You might discover a rare piece of postal history hidden among seemingly ordinary stamps. Using a stamp catalog, magnifying glass, and expert opinion can help you identify whether your stamp is common or something truly special. Next up, we're taking a closer look at this fascinating 5-cent United States postage stamp. At first glance, this stamp may seem ordinary, but many vintage U.S. stamps have become highly collectible over the years, and some rare examples have sold for impressive amounts at auctions. So, make sure you watch until the very end because you might have a valuable stamp hiding in your own collection. This classic 5-cent stamp features one of the most recognizable figures in American history and represents an important era in United States postal history. Millions of similar stamps were printed and used for everyday mail, but collectors know that not all stamps are created equal. Certain varieties, printing errors, and well-preserved examples can be surprisingly valuable. When determining the value of a vintage stamp like this one, collectors pay close attention to several important factors. The first factor is condition. A stamp with bright original color, sharp perforations, and no tears, folds, stains, or missing corners is generally worth much more than a damaged example. Stamps that have been carefully preserved for decades often command premium prices in the collector market. Another important factor is centering. Collectors prefer stamps where the design is perfectly centered within the borders. Poorly centered stamps are usually less desirable, while perfectly centered examples can bring significantly higher prices. Even small differences in centering can have a major impact on value. Collectors also search for rare printing varieties and errors. Printing mistakes such as missing colors, double impressions, inverted designs, unusual perforations, or other production errors are highly sought after. Because these errors are rare, they can dramatically increase a stamp's value and attract serious collectors from around the world. While many common 5-cent U.S. postage stamps may only be worth a few cents or a few dollars, scarce varieties in excellent condition can sell for hundreds of dollars. Some authenticated rarities and major printing errors have sold for thousands of dollars at specialized stamp auctions. This is why experts recommend having potentially valuable stamps professionally examined and authenticated. If you have inherited an old stamp album from parents or grandparents, take the time to examine it carefully. You never know when an old-looking stamp could turn out to be a hidden treasure. Using stamp catalogs, magnification tools, and expert opinions can help you determine whether your stamp is common or something truly special. Next up, we're taking a closer look at this beautiful and historic United States 10-cent postage stamp featuring George Washington. At first glance, this stamp may appear to be just another old piece of mail history, but some vintage Washington stamps have become highly collectible and can be worth significant amounts to the right collector. So, stay with us until the end because you might have a similar stamp sitting in an old album or family collection. This impressive green 10-cent stamp features George Washington, the first president of the United States and one of the most important figures in American history. Washington has appeared on countless U.S. stamps because of his enormous role in the founding of the nation. Stamps featuring his portrait have been issued in many different designs, colors, and denominations over the years, making them extremely popular among collectors worldwide. Although millions of Washington stamps were printed and used for everyday postal service, certain varieties are much rarer than others. Stamp collectors carefully examine every detail, including the stamp's color, perforations, centering, paper type, watermark, and cancellation marks. Even small differences can dramatically affect a stamp's value. Condition is one of the most important factors when determining a stamp's worth. A stamp with bright color, clean perforations, excellent centering, and no tears, creases, or stains is generally worth far more than a damaged example. Well-preserved stamps that have survived for more than a century in outstanding condition are especially desirable to collectors. Collectors also search for rare printing varieties and errors. Misprints, unusual shades, double impressions, missing perforations, and other production mistakes can make a stamp significantly more valuable. Since these errors are often scarce, they can attract serious collectors willing to pay substantial amounts for authenticated examples. Many ordinary 10-cent George Washington stamps may be worth only a few dollars, depending on their condition and issue type. However, scarce varieties, rare printings, and stamps in exceptional condition can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at specialized stamp auctions. Because values vary greatly, experts recommend having potentially valuable stamps professionally examined and authenticated. If you own old stamp albums inherited from parents, grandparents, or relatives, take some time to inspect them carefully. You never know when a seemingly ordinary stamp could turn out to be a rare collectible worth far more than its original face value. Using stamp catalogs and consulting professional experts can help determine whether your stamp is common or truly special. Next up, we're taking a closer look at this fascinating United States 1-cent George Washington postage stamp. At first glance, this stamp may seem small and ordinary, but don't let its appearance fool you. Some rare versions of early George Washington stamps have become highly desirable among collectors and have sold for hundreds, thousands, and in exceptional cases, even tens of thousands of dollars. So make sure you stay with us until the very end because you might have a valuable treasure hiding in your own stamp collection. This beautiful green stamp features George Washington, the first president of the United States and one of the most important figures in American history. Washington has appeared on more U.S. stamps than any other American leader, making his stamps extremely popular with collectors around the world. The 1-cent denomination was widely used for everyday mail, and millions of these stamps were produced during various periods of American postal history. However, not every 1-cent Washington stamp is the same. Stamp experts know that small details can make an enormous difference in value. Collectors carefully examine features such as the stamp's color, perforations, centering, paper type, watermark, gum condition, and printing method. Even slight variations can transform an ordinary stamp into a rare and valuable collectible. One of the most important factors affecting value is condition. A stamp that has bright original color, sharp design details, clean edges, and no tears, creases, stains, or thinning will usually command a much higher price. Stamps that have been preserved in mint condition for decades are especially sought after by serious collectors. Collectors are also constantly searching for rare varieties and printing errors. Production mistakes such as missing perforations, double impressions, color shifts, unusual paper varieties, or inverted designs can dramatically increase a stamp's market value. Because these errors are often rare. Many common 1-cent George Washington stamps are worth only a few cents or a few dollars. However, scarcer varieties in outstanding condition can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Some of the rarest early Washington stamps have achieved remarkable prices when professionally authenticated and graded. If you have inherited old stamp albums from parents, grandparents, or relatives, now might be the perfect time to take a closer look. A stamp that appears ordinary could actually be an important piece of American postal history. Using stamp catalogs, magnification tools, and professional expert opinions can help determine whether your stamp is common or truly exceptional. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed learning about this historic 1-cent George Washington stamp and its potential value. If you enjoy videos about rare stamps, valuable coins, and hidden treasures, please support the channel by liking this video, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you never miss our future discoveries. Also, let us know in the comments if you own any vintage stamps or if you've ever found a valuable collectible in your collection. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next exciting video.